More than 2,000 years ago, a single strategist engineered the rise of one of the largest states in the ancient world, the Maurya Empire. His name was Chanakya, and he wrote the ultimate manual on ruthless statecraft and dominance. His methods for maintaining power are so precise that modern geopolitical leaders still study them. India's former national security advisor, Shiv Shankar Menon, explicitly praised Chanakya's rules of strategy for their practical application in resolving conflicts today. Yet the man who drafted the blueprints for political conquest demanded a different discipline from the individual, a deep, highly internalized spiritual rigor. This duality remained hidden for centuries until 1905, when a librarian digging through a pile of uncatalogued ancient palm leaf manuscripts discovered Chanakya's masterwork on governance, the Arthashastra. This discovery placed the work of an cold-eyed imperial architect alongside a secondary set of teachings, one that suggests the survival of a kingdom is secondary to the state of the human soul. We see this philosophy in his second, lesser-known text, the Chanakya Niti. Here, he shifts his focus away from conquering empires and aims squarely at personal ethics. His core warning to the individual is stark. Everything we typically chase, social status, massive wealth, and even our own physical vitality, is unstable. Eventually, all of it will turn to dust. If every worldly pursuit is guaranteed to decay, what remains? What are the permanent laws we should anchor our lives to? Chanakya begins by re-evaluating how we approach faith. He argues that the divine does not reside in physical objects, no matter how carefully carved the idols of wood or stone might be. Instead, he defines spiritual connection as an internal state. To Chanakya, God exists within the feeling and the thought of the individual. To explain this, he uses natural metaphors. He says this internal presence is like the fragrance living inside a flower, or a spark of fire lying dormant inside a piece of wood until it is ignited. Devotion is a private cognitive event, a disciplined state of mind that persists regardless of external ceremony. Once that internal state is secured, one must face the decay of the world. When wealth empties and the body ages, only one element remains intact. That element is dharma, the individual's sense of duty and righteousness. In a universe where vitality is fickle, dharma is the singular, constant anchor. Chanakya is uncompromising on this point. He considers a being devoid of dharma to be dead while still breathing. Conversely, adhering to one's duty grants a legacy that survives the death of the body. Embracing duty provides the only reliable method to build a foundation immune to the passage of time. This leads to the third pillar, karma. Chanakya defines this as a literal accounting system for human action, functioning with the precision of a guided missile. He uses a vivid image to illustrate this. If a calf is released into a herd of thousands of cows, it will find its own mother. The consequence of any action tracks down the doer with that same unerring accuracy. Chanakya acknowledges that baselines like initial wealth, capacity to learn, and lifespan are predetermined in the womb. Within that framework, however, the individual acts freely. We walk these branching paths by choice and alone bear the consequences. In this system, personal suffering is the result of specific causes. Poverty, disease, and grief are the literal harvest, the fruits of the tree of sin grown from previous choices. Understanding karma removes the option to be a victim. It forces total ownership over one's destiny. The underlying logic of the imperial architect becomes clear. Chanakya knew that before you can govern a kingdom, you must conquer your own nature. These three pillars, internal devotion, adherence to duty, and the acceptance of karmic consequence, interlock to form an architecture of absolute personal accountability. Compare these immutable laws with modern society's focus on acquiring temporary status and material wealth that will inevitably vanish. Chanakya argues that such pursuits are hollow. True wealth is measured by the clarity of our intentions and our commitment to responsibility. Chanakya Niti endures because it moves beyond the tactics of ruling others. It provides the anchor for ruling ourselves amidst the chaos of life.